Following on from the last lesson, so we're going to look at pivot tables today. So the first thing you want to do is to highlight the table that you would like to analyze. So we have a very small table here. So we've highlighted it, and then you go to Insert, and there's options for recommended pivot table or pivot table. Today we're just going to go for the pivot table. And you always want to make sure that you work from a new worksheet, and you'll understand later it just makes it a lot easier playing with the data without having your existing table in the way. So we'll press OK for that. Okay, so in the right hand column it has a list of all of your column headings, and what we would like to analyze today is we want to see how many beds we have, so we'll just drag that down there. So we want to see how many beds there are by tenure, so we want that in the columns. And then for the value, what are we looking at? So we want to see how many beds there are by leasehold, shared ownership and freehold. So we're going to drag that again into the values table. And okay, so we have a grand total of 36. So in total there are 36 rooms across our heading criteria. And just to do a quick check that you have put in the right information there, you can always go back to your table. So for beds, let's just do a quick sum and highlight this column here, enter 36, and that's what we have in our pivot table, so that's correct. Okay, so finally what we want to do as well is I want to know how many 5 beds there are in Barking, so we tick on Borough. Whoops. So for Borough, we don't actually want to see it in this format. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab it and move it filter. So this way we can have a quick breakdown. Okay, let's have a look at Camden. So we have 3 rooms in Camden area and they are all leasehold. So it just makes things a little bit easier in terms of having that that view. Okay, so the next thing I want to do with this pivot table is introduce slicers. So slicers are really good for having a drill down for your data. So we've got, you can add, via first name or purchase price. So I think purchase price is a good one to do, so we'll say OK for that. And here we go. So here's our slicer, and it basically gives us all the prices. So what we can do now is select our budget. So I only want to see rooms that are around the 280 mark, and I have 2 here, and that's in all boroughs. Okay, so we'll close that. Or what you can do, if you want to add multiple prices, you just press Control and then select a few more, and it will show you all of those bedrooms within that price range there. Okay, so let's just take that filter off quickly for now, and we got all. So the last thing we want to do is, we just want to have a bit of a chart, just to help with that visualization piece. Back to Insert, and recommended charts is always a good start. So the good thing about recommendation is that it basically looks at the data that you have and it says, okay, this is what will fit it best. There's some charts that will just not really work or give you the right view in terms of what you need to see. So we'll just select this one for now. So we'll add that chart here. And now let's have a real play around. So we have all our boroughs selected. Now I just want to see Brighton, Hampstead, Havering and Islington. And there. So it has now become a dynamic chart, and we know that the prices here that are highlighted for us, this is what we have. So yeah, and what you can do now, even with the slicer, is you can drill that down even further by selecting on a particular criteria. So we just want to see, within this price range here, and it says it's a freehold tenure, and the borough that it's in, it's a 5-bedroom. Okay, to change the table, we just go to the Design tab at the top, and it will give you some nice options. So you can change the outlook of those. You can do the same thing for the slicers as well. And yeah, let's just remove all these filters so you remember what you have to begin with. And that concludes our session on pivot tables. See you in the next lecture.